Good? Yeah. Okay, so I'm here this year again to talk about terminology. Terminology beyond words. So who am I? I'm Boris Faure, aka billiob. I'm a developer on Enlightenment and DFL for more than 5 years and working on terminology for quite some time now. So what is terminology? It's just the best terminal emulator written with the FL. And well, I'm not going to list all the features, but this is terminology. It's a shell script. You can play every apps you have on the terminal in terminology. There's no longer any bugs, any compatibility bugs. So just use it. It should work perfectly everywhere. So what have we done during the past years? The past year? Well, we have done many things. But what we have done more is releases. So in December 2013, we made the 04. It's the first terminology release with a main page. So we have a main page with some documentation in there. We did add some text reflow, compressed backlog. We did some fixes, and of course we introduced some new bugs. And it took us quite some time. At the time we had 18 offers, and we did a bit more than 300 commits. Then for terminology 05, we did it on March this year. We had about the same number of authors, but much less commits. But we did have some great new features like color settings editor, wallpaper settings, and of course a bunch of fixes and some new bugs. On July, we had the 0.6 version. So this release introduced some new themes, like the analogy theme that Anis did, but I don't know is there. We had about the same number of offers, a bit more commits, and it took us less time to do this release. And about today or maybe tomorrow, I plan on releasing terminology 0.7. It has internationalization. It's already translated in Korean. There's a bit of French, and I don't remember, maybe Italian also is complete. We did have some fixes and some fresh new bugs that you guys will find, I'm sure. It took a bit more days to do this release. It's mainly my fault. Could have done it earlier. And this release is the first release to have 0 issue on coverity. So it's quite a nice thing to have. So it's great, but we haven't conquered the world yet. And this is a cat picture for Raster. So this is the state of terminology in various distros. I picked something like on DistroWatch, the top 10. So we have some good players, Gentoo, Arch Linux, Bodhi, OpenSUSE, where terminology and DFL and Enlightenment are there and available easily for users. We have some bad players like Debian, Mint, Ubuntu, CentOS, Mageia, Fedora, but I've heard Fedora had something, but it's old. Debian, we should have a package soon. I mean, maybe for 0.7. There's actually it's in the process to get integrated. So if you're using a distro where terminology is not there, please ask your distro to ship it. It would make it easier to have terminology directly in the distro for users, because it can be sometimes complex for them to compile stuff. And we will continue on improving terminology. So what's next? Well, some bug fixing again. There's some issue with the scrollback compression. It's currently limited in size. So if you want to have a very, very large scrollback, like, I don't know, but more than 100,000 lines, you will have some issues. The mini view is currently not as awesome as it could be, because it's an overlay on the terminal and not yet a pure scroll bar. I'd like to have a searchable buffer to be able to zoom on images. I would like to have also instant replay. I need to show you what it is. So it's a feature in iTerm 2 that I think we could have someday. The idea is to save the terminal for like few seconds, 30 seconds, and be able to get back in the time to show the screen that was 30 seconds ago or something like that. So it's something we could do. It could be pretty awesome. We could have splits in tabs, because for the moment you can only have tabs in splits, but not the other way around. Many people have been complaining that tabs are not real tabs. They want to have the real tabs. So someday we'll have to do that. We also have some complaints that there is no bold or italic support. Someday we'll have to do that too. Tmux integration, there was a lot of buzz when iTerm 2 added that. The idea is that in Tmux you could have some splits, and you could integrate that in terminology, so that the splits in Tmux, instead of having those ugly pipes to separate the windows, they are native splits in terminology. And no, that's not done. Don't clap. This is just the to-do list.
Then you can do that also for screen.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But actually, Tmux has a real protocol for that. It's not something hacky. It's something that could really be done correctly. And well, any awesome ideas you guys might have, I plan on having a poll on the wiki. So please tell me every ideas you want to have in terminology. Then we'll have a poll to decide which feature is more important than the other, and maybe we could try to put some efforts on them so that they're coming earlier than the others. And I had to have a demo. So some crazy ideas like Gravatar integrations. So Gravatar are some avatars based on emails. So just going to maybe less. So Mike, maybe no, not Mike. I know Carsten. Good one. Myself. Okay, not myself. Gustavo and so on. So if you have any special ideas like that, feel free to tell them, to tell me about them, and maybe we will do it. We'll do those features. So, do you have any questions for me? Guys, I have a question.
Sometimes the performance is very slow. Is there any plans to have a slow option to have just a terminal and not the fancy features, but to have low CPU load and
when is performance?
Yeah.
It's just a dim.
yeah, just if the cursor is blinking.
Oh, when is that?
Actually,
The CPU load is high.
I had an option to disable that years ago.
Yeah, I disabled it,
but
it's still, I think.
when we will have a lib screw, some lib to have some hardware and integration, we will be able to get to know when we are on battery or some stuff like that, and it would.
You can already know now.
Yeah, but
It's more work.
it's more work, and maybe we could do it.
It has power events. It tells you on AC or not. It's a simple equal event.
Okay, and maybe we'll do it. So
Already there is a basic
in that case, for example, we could disable some animations to help you keep some power. Any other question?
Is mini view becoming a widget for elementary, or is it going to stay on terminology?
Well, basically
It's-
it's a question also for terminology.
Oh.
For
Terminology himself.
for the video widgets for terminology.
Yeah, it's something that, I mean, for example, for ED, it could be very useful to have terminology as a widget. So yeah, it's something we'll have to do. It's quite complex, I mean, due to the way the code is spread for the moment. But we need to be able to do that someday.
The menu view is very closely tied in with terminology itself, with the terminal
Yeah.
and the cell grid. It would be difficult to unglue it from the cell grid. I don't think there's a lot of value in that.
Well, thank you.